My son let his wife throw me out like I was trash. 30 days later, I bought the house she'd been dreaming about for years, directly across the street from theirs. The look on their faces was worth every penny. It started on a Thursday evening. I was standing on their front porch holding a container of homemade barbecue ribs I'd spent all afternoon cooking. My daughter-in-law Vanessa opened the door, looked me up and down, and laughed. "Why are you here again?" I smiled and held up the food. "Just thought I'd bring dinner." Her expression instantly changed. "We don't need charity from a broke old man." Before I could answer, she grabbed the container and shoved it back into my chest. Then she pointed toward the driveway. "Leave." I looked past her at my son, Tyler. He was sitting on the couch, watching, silent. I waited for him to say something, anything. Instead, he looked away. 10 minutes later, my duffel bag landed beside me on the porch. The door slammed shut, and just like that, I was homeless. Not because I needed their house, not because I had nowhere to go, but because my own son chose comfort over loyalty. I drove to a hotel that night, a quiet place downtown. The second I got inside my room, I opened my laptop. You see, Vanessa thought I was poor. Most people did. I drove a 15-year-old pickup truck, wore old jeans, clipped coupons, never talked about money. What nobody knew was that I'd spent decades building commercial properties across 3 states. Most months, I made more money than some people earned in 5 years. I wasn't rich because I showed off. I was rich because I stayed quiet. That night, I searched for homes near Tyler's neighborhood. Then I found it. A massive 2-story brick house. 5 bedrooms, beautiful front porch, perfect landscaping, and one very important detail. It sat directly across the street from my son's house. I called my attorney the next morning. I want it. 3 weeks later, the deal was done. Cash. No financing. No delays. No questions. Everything was purchased through one of my companies. Nobody knew I was the buyer. Then moving day arrived. The truck pulled up early Saturday morning. I stood on the front lawn sipping coffee while movers carried furniture inside. At exactly 9:43 a.m., Vanessa noticed. I watched her freeze through the living room window. Seconds later, her front door flew open. She marched across the street with Tyler following behind like a nervous shadow. "What is this?" she demanded. I smiled. "My new house." Her eyes nearly popped out of her head. "You bought this?" "Yep." "How?" "With money." Tyler looked like he'd been punched. Vanessa's face turned bright red. "You did this to spy on us." I laughed. "No, I bought a house that was for sale." "Across from us?" "Exactly." She stepped closer. "This is harassment." I took a slow sip of coffee. "You threw me out of your house. You don't get to decide where I live anymore." For the first time, Tyler actually looked ashamed. Vanessa spun toward him. "Say something." He stared at the ground, then quietly said, "Maybe we shouldn't have treated Dad like that." The silence that followed was beautiful. Vanessa couldn't believe what she was hearing. Neither could I. A few days later, I learned something interesting. The house they'd been trying to save for, the one Vanessa constantly bragged about, the one she swore they'd own someday, I had already bought it. Their dream home now belonged to the man she called a beggar. For weeks, she kept peeking through her curtains, watching me enjoy the porch she wanted, the backyard she wanted, the life she thought she deserved. Eventually, Tyler came over alone. He apologized. A real apology. Not for the house, not for the money, for standing there and saying nothing when his wife humiliated his father. I accepted his apology, but I never forgot the lesson. People reveal who they truly are when they think you have nothing. And sometimes the best revenge isn't yelling. It's succeeding so loudly that they have to look at it every single day from across the street.